What's up, YouTube legends? Welcome back to the YT Legends channel. We're excited to have you here today. We're talking about 7 tools to make your videos better almost immediately. You guys, we're talking tools today, but we're not talking about Jake and Logan Paul. Not that kind of tool. We're talking about physical tools. I am here with that Denver guy. 1.5 million subscribers between the two of us, over 300 million views. You guys, we know what we're talking about. We've been doing this for a long time. We've helped a number of people succeed on YouTube, and we are here to help you do the same. So we're talking tools today. Denver, what is tool number 1?
Number 1, guys, you guys are going to need a good camera if you're using face cam. And a lot of people who are like, but Denver, you don't use face cam a lot. I have in my videos. I've even experimented with it. I will say now that using a camera in your videos will bring you guys a lot more views, and having a good quality camera is the most important thing. Because if you use an old like webcam or something, it can work, but it totally degrades the quality of the entire video if your video quality isn't good. So definitely check out a good camera. I use the Panasonic GH5. Scott, which camera were you using?
So right now I'm using a Canon 5D Mark IV, but this is a professional camera. This is a $4,000 camera with the lens and everything. I don't recommend getting that from the start. What I recommend from the start is using a high quality cell phone, something that's a current generation iPhone 11 or a Samsung Galaxy S9 and plus, S10, anything like that, where it's got a high quality, even 4K camera, where you're going to be able to have good picture, good audio. You want to start with something like that. Then you can move up to an intermediate camera. I prefer Canons, but I know a lot of people prefer Sony's. A good intermediate Canon camera would be like a Canon M50 or Canon G7X Mark II or Mark III. Or even a Canon T7i or T8i.
We'll have all these linked below, guys. There's a lot of good cameras out there, but keep in mind, it's not just the camera for YouTube and content creation. You can actually use this for anything, for home videos, which Scott used for his family vlogs. And anytime they would go on vacation, they had a really good camera to use. And I do the same with mine. So start with your phone. But if you really want to see that noticeable quality difference, definitely spend the extra dollars and get a good camera.
Number 2, you guys, is sound. Now, I tell this to all of my students and everybody that I talk to who's getting onto YouTube. Sound is almost more important than video, because you can watch a video that has terrible video, but the sound is perfect. You cannot watch a video where the sound is bad, because most of us cannot read lips. So you have to have good sound. Now, I use Rode Video Mic Go. That's my shotgun mic that goes right on the top of my camera. We also have Studio Mic. This is a Shure SM57. It's an intermediate range microphone, cardioid mic that is meant for up close talking. So that way you guys can hear. It doesn't have a very good distance audio. So it really just depends on what you're shooting. Denver, what's your take on mics?
So I've got the Shure SM7B, which you guys can hear. And like Scott said, we got to keep it kind of close to our mouth, right? Because if I move it away, you can still hear, but it's not going to be as clear as if I have it really close. So if you're using a face cam, I mean, consider that. For me, I'm not recording with face cam a whole lot, so I can have a mic like right in my face. Either way, it's not super distracting. And plus, audio quality is that important that I think even viewers like you guys right now would forgive me for having a mic this close to my face. But I just like it because the crisp, the clear sound, it really does, whether it's conscious or subconscious, people notice that and they can tell good quality. And again, if the sound quality is bad, just like the video quality, the whole rest of the quality is bad as well. So I also have the Rode mic arm here. We'll have all this stuff linked down below. If you guys want to support Scott and I, we'll have affiliate links below. But again, if you want to just go check this out and consider it sometime for yourself, I mean, do whatever you guys want to do, but links are down below for our full setups and everything in this video. And next up, guys, we want to talk about green screens, right? For me personally, I use the Elgato green screen. I love it. Elgato is such an amazing company and they make awesome products. We'll even talk about more in just a second. It's really nice just having a mobile green screen that I can just carry anywhere I want to with a handle, pop the clips open and pull it straight up and it stays. And then you can store it and it's not taking up a ton of space in your room. You don't need to paint an entire wall green, which some people do. Or Scott, like he used to do, put like PVC piping and like a green almost curtain, or a sheet, which a lot of people have done. And again, if you don't have the money for an Elgato green screen, that's totally fine. You know, whatever works. But in the end, for me, it just comes down to like ease of access and something that I want to sit down and use. Scott, what are you using?
We'll put a couple of different links in the description with different price ranges. So that way you guys, if you're just starting on YouTube, you don't have to have the most expensive green screen. You can have something to get you started. Now, personally, I've never recommended using using a green screen unless you know how to use it. But if you're doing a lot of sit down talking head style content like this, you can have a green screen because there's not a lot of motion going around. You're not waving your arms all over the place like I'm doing right now. You're just sitting there talking to you, and that's really easy to use a green screen. It's really easy to edit with a green screen. So the green screen that I've used was a newer green screen. I think it ran just under $100. It wasn't very expensive, but it was also more difficult to put up than the Elgato just pull and slide pop-up green screen that Denver has. So I do recommend the pop-up green screen if you have the budget for it, but if not, then there are other options that you can use or that you can take advantage of right now.
So next, guys, number 4 is lighting. This is a big one, especially with Scott talking about green screens and how you're supposed to use them. Lighting is very important. You can actually have some of the lower quality cameras out there, but as long as your lighting is really good, it'll make anything look a lot better. On the left and right side of me here, I have some big box lights that I got off Amazon. Again, I'll link it for you guys down below. And right in front of me, I use an Elgato key light. It's really nice just because I can connect it to Wi-Fi and I can change the brightness and like the warmth of the colors just live. Whereas these box lights, they're just one color. So there's a ton of lighting options out there. This is just what I use and it seems to work really well. Over here, Scott actually told me about these lights up on the wall. If I actually turn these lights off, which we can experiment with now, if I turn these lights off, look how flat it looks compared to when I turn these on. Isn't that insane? So just a couple of like floor to ceiling lights, and we'll link these too, because Scott showed me and I was like, dude, these are amazing. Like, I don't know how many times I've told you, Scott, like these are incredible. What kind of lighting are you using?
Yeah, so actually I am using a newer setup. I've got 2 LED panels at my 45s that are constantly shining light on my face to make sure that me, the subject, is well lit so you guys can see me. Lighting is super important, you guys. So if you don't have a budget for lighting, I would absolutely recommend standing or sitting in front of a window that is letting in natural lighting so that way you are crisp and clear. Now, like Denver said, we have these fancy uplightings. These are LED uplights. They run about $20 a piece on Amazon at the time of this filming. And so you can pick up a couple of these for relatively inexpensive price. Then you can also get LED strip lighting that you can run around objects. But if you don't have the budget for that, then you can just settle for LED colored bulbs that actually run on a remote. So you can change the color of those light bulbs in an overhead fixture or in a lamp that is next to you or behind you. I highly recommend making sure that if you spend your budget anywhere, that it does include lighting. We have links in the description below.
And again, guys, make sure if you're just starting out, don't go blow a ton of money. You don't have to. There is some good lighting. I even think I used an Amazon light that was like, it was like a vertical light and I stuck it onto my wall, by the way, which I think tore my drywall off my wall. So try not to use that. But just to even, you know, any little light, experiment with something cheap, maybe even have a lamp in the house, but try to get that lighting good and definitely look up some good tutorials on it. So next up, number 5, we do talk about Elgato products a lot, but you guys got to hear about this one just because we love it so much. You would think this video is sponsored, but honestly, we just really appreciate their products. Although they do cost a little bit more, but the quality is there, especially with this cam link. The cam link's amazing, especially when you're using like a digital camera. Like I've got my GH5, like we talked about. I run it into my computer through a cam link. It does cost a little bit more, but it just makes the quality so much better and allows me to do a whole bunch of different things that I couldn't do before.
Now, if you're using Canon products, you actually have access to what's called the EOS Utility Webcam software that you can just download straight to your computer. Then you just plug your camera straight into the USB port, and you don't need to have an Elgato cam link for that. You can just plug it straight into your computer.
That's awesome.
And that'll save you time and save you money. All right, you guys. And the last thing we're going to talk about today, number 6, is camera stabilization. This is super important. You don't want to have shaky camera. Now, a lot of cameras have built-in stabilizers, but if you're not doing handheld, you're doing sit down like we're doing right now, you're not going to hold your camera in a talking head style video. You want to have a stabilizer. So the first thing that I recommend having is a nice tripod. Now, you can get away with having a cheap, nice tripod. So they're not the highest of quality, but they are inexpensive and they are versatile. You can throw them into a bag. They condense down into a small little package that you can just throw into your travel bag and take with you wherever you're at in the world. And you don't have to worry about them breaking because they're so cheap, you can replace them. Now, if you want to step that up a notch, you can get into Manfrotto tripods, which are more expensive, but they're absolutely higher quality. And then also depending on the height that you want it to go, you might have to spend a little bit more money. If you want your camera angle to be looking down from an 8-foot angle or something like that, then you have to invest a little bit more into your camera stabilization.
Now, also, we're talking about Elgato again. We just keep bringing them up, Scott. We just love Elgato products. I mean, really, I've got like 6 different things in here from Elgato, but something new that they just came out with is called the multi-mounts. And you can actually clip this onto the edge of your desk, which is what my camera is on right now. It's just mounted to the edge of my desk. You can lift it up, you can rotate it left, right, and just do full 360 swivels. So if that works for you, definitely something to check out too. But I did start out with a cheap tripod and I used it for a long time. So that's totally up to you guys. It just took up a lot of room on my desk. And if you're a gamer or if you use a lot of mouse movements and stuff like that, I kept hitting the tripod with my mouse and it would like shake my camera. So this is a lot better. It's just literally one pole for the Elgato mount. But again, a cheap tripod can work. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to spend your budget on, or as you're progressing throughout your YouTube channel, maybe it'll help you out.
All right, you guys, and a bonus tip for you, a bonus tool that you guys can incorporate into your videoing. If you do handheld camera shots, if you're not doing cameras like this or shots like this, where it's just talking head, but if you're actually out and about interviewing or doing vlog style content, you want to incorporate some type of a stabilizer. Now, the stabilizer that I recommend is called the Zion Smooth. And you can just use it, attach your cell phone to it. You can be walking down the street and it's going to keep your camera nice and stable. So that way there is no jitter. There's no shaking or rocking in your footage. Now, if you want to step it up a notch and use a nicer camera like a Canon 5D or a Canon M50 or a Canon 80D, or even like what Denver has, whatever that camera is that he has over
whatever
there.
That Panasonic camera is, it's the GH5 and it's amazing. So go ahead.
That's right. Well, you can step it up.
How dare you talk about my camera?
Listen, I am who I am and I like Canon. So
Canons are good. So eat it, kid.
You know what, you guys, this opens up for a really solid opportunity to leave a shout out to your favorite camera down in the comments below. What kind of camera are you using? We want to hear all about it. Now, if you want to step it up, like I was saying, and use a heavier camera, then you need to have a heavier duty stabilizer, and you want to use the Zion Crane 2, which can maintain a higher weight.
I need to write these down.
There you go. Go and get yours today, Denver.
Searching it now.
for your Panasonic.
Thanks for watching today, guys. Click the links down in the description. We'll have all affiliate links or maybe even non-affiliate links when we upload this video. If you guys want to support Scott and I and what we're doing on this channel and more videos, and if you're loving this content, like I said, hit like and make sure you're subscribed to this channel. You're going to miss out on all kinds of amazing videos. But that's it. We will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.
Adios, amigos.